All right, it's been a day. I didn't really. I wanted to get some Inquisitor stuff up. Really, it's my focus right now. Right now, because next month I have a gaming event where I need to be ready for it, and so I thought I would go through a few of the initial. Here is Inquisitor, and then I'll follow it up with some videos about my process in going into this event that I need to have terrain built for, missions figured out, pre-gen teams for each of the four players. One of my games coming up, at least one of the players will have their own team, but that's mostly they don't. I'm trying to build a community, at least, let's get together once every 6 months to play. That's really, that'd be enough for me. Right now I'm doing 2 events a year, 3D Roleplay Con in Portland and CritCon in Portland, Oregon. And the next CritCon is the 24th through the 26th, I believe. I'm having sessions on the 24th. I think there's one spot might be open left. The one game is sold out. The other game might have a spot because somebody's going to be dropping. Anyhow, this is a video about Inquisitor. Okay, folks, this is Inquisitor. I haven't had time to set up my table with my terrain on it, but I thought I'd go over a little bit of what's going on with Inquisitor. Inquisitor came out. I'm going to hear some figures that they came out with. 54 mil, so these are old originals. I painted some. These guys are still in their boxes, but I have quite a few. You can go through the catalog. I can show you that. Trying to slow down here a little, being my second video, but this is where my passion has been for the last couple years. Again, these Inquisitor guys, I just love them. 54 mil. Here's a Space Marine, Artemis. Still in the package here. Let me see, and really, it's everything's in here. It's I think this set has this has multiple heads. It has a newer head, a helmeted head, and a regular head. I'm sad that it doesn't have a beaky head, but maybe someday I can make that happen with a 3D print. But you wouldn't play, of course, Artemis in the game just because it's he's crazy powerful, a Space Marine. This is about the Inquisition, and the Inquisition, the battle for the Emperor's soul. I've seen this covered a few times over the last year or two on YouTube. None of us jumped in and actually played it. During COVID, I decided that I really wanted to play Inquisitor. I had the book, I had a few figures, and I think it was Uncle Adam over there on his blog. I'll put a link to that. Anyhow, Uncle Adam, he said you need to make the change if you want your area to play a certain game. So I painted a bunch of figures. I'll have to get them out. 3D printed some. 3D printing has been godsend for Inquisitor because it's 54 millimeter, so this is twice as big. Let me see if I have something here. So here is a 28 traditional. This is a bolt action figure, and here let's get somebody that's more recognizable. One of my stand-in Inquisitors, and as you can see here, it's twice as big. It's a 54 mil instead of 28, so it's huge. And what I've been doing is making that change, like Uncle Adam said over there, Adam Smasher over I forget the name of the blog right now, but anyhow, I decided I was going to make the change, and what it will do is we'll go slowly through the game book and explain some of the rules and how the game plays to 2 years ago, I started doing demo games at some local little cons, 3D Roleplay Con and CritCon. CritCon, my second time around at CritCon is coming up next month on October 24th, and I will want to go through and sort of explain my thought process on how I do these demos, and at the end of that next month, I plan to record both of the games I have. I go through some introductory rules and mechanics, and some actual, not really battle reports, because it's a narrative game. It's a role-playing game with a miniatures game, because Games Workshop sort of slapped on together with it. I mean, here's the catalog that they came out with. These annuals here sometimes are hard to find on eBay, but they have articles from Extremis, which is one of their magazines they had to support the game. This has a combination of a bunch of those articles, and this is the other one that has a bunch of those compiled into this compendium, this annual. The catalog, we can thumb through that really quick because that won't be too bad here. The catalog shows, all the miniatures reports. It's all about the spectacular terrain that you can achieve with this scale. That's one of the things that doomed the game. It just didn't have really any terrain, none of your terrain. Well, some of it will work, but most of your terrain's not really going to work. There's Eisenhorn, of course, the mainstay of the system there. You have the Covenant. These are just, there's Demon Huntresses, there's Inquisitor Scar, and I mean, I don't know if any of these, how many of these are referenced in any of the books, but the Artemis, of course, with its multiple choices. And let me tell you, let's thumb through the rest of this so everybody can see it, stop it, pause it, zoom in, whatever you want to do. If you have some figures, you're looking for more of these, this is page for page of the catalog. I got most of these guys in here. I see. There's also some just minor changes. I mean, really, some head swaps, some weapon swaps, and some bits, and it's just basically Duke von Castellan, but he's Saul instead. Slick Devlin, he shares the legs with Bloodhound, Damien Bloodhound. There's a couple others that share. There's Clavis and his emissary Fabian, which also shares most of the pieces, but that's what GW does sometimes, and it really helped flesh out the range. Crime Lord, Chaos Magus, Shirubael, and an Unbound Demon Host, which it's hard to find that guy. The Tau Watercast, which I do have. You'll see him later. The Pure Strain Gene Stealer. Let me see. I got him right here on my shelf. There's the Pure Strain Gene Stealer. I got him from a local friend in the local scene. He tried to give him to me, but I really just had to pay for it because it's hard to find that at a cheap price. And there's that. Let me see. Elder Renegade, and there's some bits that you can swap there to make him more of a ranger, with a helmet and backpack and stuff. I don't know, they should be in here. There's Bounty Hunter. And Kroot, of course. The Kroot made it here way before they were really popular, I think. I'm not sure. It was early 2000s. And then the bits packs, all the different bits that they made. The Space Marine helmet, I really wish they would have came out with a beaky helmet. I really want one. I had a second Artemis, and I gave him to my son, and hopefully he built him. I think I'll just make my helmet magnetized and make him swappable. Let's see, all these extra bits. There's Chaos Magus bit I'm actually painting. I'll show you what I'm working on right now. Weapon bits, all these extra bits, chain swords, different bases, wonderful artwork, of course. They talk about the Extremis and the two modules, sort of, they sort of campaign, sort of kind of janky. I don't know. I use them for a lot of ideas. These little campaigns conspiracies that they came out with. And what else is new? I mean, there's new models for 2004. So this guy and the assassin and the Vindicator assassin. This guy is just a big lump of metal, which I haven't brought myself to pay the eBay prices for. But I do have the Inquisitor, and he is... Where is he? He's somewhere. He's right here. He's right here. He comes out nice. I haven't really put him in a game yet. I try to switch up things. But yeah, I'm not... I'll see what happens. So we'll go through that when I'm working on this demo games that we're going to be running in October. I'll go through that process of what teams I'm going to use. So there's the catalog. Let's jump over to my table, and I'll show you what's going on over there on the benches. And maybe I can get some terrain thrown out here just so you can see it. All right, here we are over at my my hobby table, just turned around to face that table, and here's what I'm working on for all this. Yeah, all this is for Inquisitor. The tournaments the demo learning games that are coming up. I have a fan-made towel, probably like a commander, and I already have another one here. Let me see here. So I already have another Tau Fire Warrior, or just Warrior here. Have this 3D printed Crew Hound, which I'm going to have to make up some rules for the crew. The crew standing behind there. I'll have to tear those down at some point to show you. I'm working on one of the assassins. I 3D printed this guy, and he came out a little bit big, but since he's all decked out in power armor, I'm okay with it. Found this Witch Hunter on eBay not too long, 6 months. He came out nice. I changed out his sword for this chain sword that I had in my bits box. The assassin, I'm still working on what to do there. I did print this Mechanicus guy, and he came out really tall, but then again, he's made his own legs, so he's just compensating. I found this eagle. This is a War Eagle for Fantasy Battle. It's probably from the 90s GW figure. I just threw some bits on him and made him into a Cyber Eagle because the rules allow for that. Servo skulls and things like that. So, and you got the Cyber Mutt, which is here. Cyber Mutt. So I'm okay with making the Crew Hound and the Eagle. It sort of throws things into the game that are kind of fun. This here is a fan sculpt. It is metal. I found it on eBay. A lot of things are found on eBay. And the focus here, please. And working on there. She's from a drawing that's inside the main Inquisitor book. Let me see. Working on this Magus. He'll be one of the teams in the gaming tournament that we have. Not the tournament, the convention. Let me see. Anybody else here? I did find this nice little print. There's a lot of Inquisitor type prints online that you can find different places, Maker's Cults or 3D other different 3D websites. You can find figures that are scaled for regular 40K, 28 mil. So you can just scale them up. It's about 160% enlargement. Depends, 165. If you find a sculptor that's made something a little small, you can measure one of your normal figures and then just find something to stand in. I found this guy. He's dead now. You're dead. Dead to me. I found this guy let me see, it's been a long time, probably 10 years or so. I was looking for a beast to go against one of my friends' little dioramas I built for him. I painted it, his D&D character, and I never used him. It just didn't fit what I wanted to do in the end. But he's 54 mil, so I painted him, and he's going to be one of the bad guys in this game that's coming up, along with this nurse figure that I found, which is also in 54 mil. Let's see, it says somewhere on here, right there. It says 54 mil here on the end of the box, if I can do this. Yeah, 54 mil. And so that figure is here, and I'm slowly working on getting them painted. My process is slow at times, fast at times. Really, it just depends if my if the muse really captures me, or I really get going. So that's what's on my workbench right now, and hopefully I can get through these. All right, now I'm over at my other bench with some parts of the terrain I've been working on for the event, CritCon, the Inquisitor event. So I put together this I found on, where did I find it? I think I found it on Colts 3D. And then these other guys I got Beastnarium Minis. They're a designer of really sort of dark, grimy stuff. And I just used some aluminum wire and stuck these guys on here, so it looks like they're powering this computer, as it were. There's this book stand. I thought that was also in the same area on 3D, on Colts 3D, I believe. And possibly one of the missions will be to retrieve this book. And there's this little table that's going to be in the Xeno lab with a dead alien on it, Tyranid, and so this little table will be in there as well. That took a bit to paint. And let's just go for this big guy. Let me move him over and I'll show you. These two I scaled up from designs that were online. This vehicle here with all the guns, I made it so it's made so you can take these off, so I went ahead and did that. I can't get back on there. Oh, there it is. This is like a Marine car. Had these old stickers from the old GW kit a long time ago. It's got the little tournament turret with missiles and the inside. I didn't really go crazy on painting on the inside, but it's painted. So it's approximate Inquisitor 54 mil scale on this little rig. My thinking on it at the time was most likely Marines are getting in it, and they're a lot bigger, so it's a little bit big. And I printed this with my resin printer, and it's super heavy, and probably heavier than I should have. But it was a learning experience. So this is the first vehicle I scaled up. Let's get these guys aside. So then I wanted an Arvis. I wanted something without weapons. Something that wasn't going to be used to blow up everybody else at the table. So I found this on, was it on Colts 3D? I think it was. I'll have to put a link for it if I can find it. And on this guy, I printed, let me see, all the pieces that make up this part, I printed on my resin printer, hollowed this time. And these engine blocks come off. These big bits here, along with these little bits, I printed those on the resin printer. But the body, the frame of the whole thing, let me see, I can take this off. The wings, I printed on my filament printer, along with the core of the body. And then there's this cargo unit that sits in there. I won't take it out right now, but it's just locked, sort of wedged in there. And it's there as well. And it's got some grime and everything else inside that you would expect in the grim dark future. Let me see. Let me put it back together. So this guy goes here. And the hood, I went ahead and painted everything in there, so you could get in there, I suppose. Let's lock this wing back on. This wing is just sort of compression fit. Oops, backwards. See if I can do this one-handed. Probably not. There we go. So it's just sort of, just fits sort of nicely. Again, some more decals from an old GW kit. And that's terrain. I'll have to set the table up. That means I have to raise the track out of the way. So that's why there's no terrain set up. I'll get a few pieces put together when I start doing some. We'll go through the rules of how Inquisitor works. And I know there's a couple videos I just watched the last week. There was one where, I don't know, apparently the person read the rules but didn't quite understand. This was a game designer, but didn't quite understand how the rules worked, because you kind of have to play it. It looks way more complicated than it actually is. I like how the game goes. I'm biased. I'm older. You know, get off my lawn with your rules, your rule set. I just wanted to learn to play it. So there we go. There's that terrain bit. It's just the part that I just dig into is building this stuff, and the gaming is kind of justification, I guess, running the games. So there we go.